That y'all. All right. What's going on, my party people? So, scooter down. Ah, waiting for the party people to slide on up in here. For y'all on the replay, I'm just headed out to do a house inspection. Hadn't planned on doing one today because they told me it was gonna be canceled. Morning. Yeah, I'm doing got a about a 20 some minute ride to do a house inspection, and wasn't planning on doing one because the lady told me it wasn't going to happen. So I was like, all right. And then she called me this morning and said, no, you can do it. So I'm just sitting here making sure I remember the code to get into the place. And I like these kind where there's no people. I can get in there, get out, or if I need to, just take my time and all of that. Hey, thanks everybody for hopping in. Make sure y'all hit that like button because apparently now YouTube, if you don't hit that like button, they're not sharing it. Even though I'm semi-popular, I guess, I don't know. But yeah, the YouTube algorithm thingy-majig now is like really cracking down, I guess. I'm learning that from watching other people's videos, and they were saying how their videos aren't getting pushed out to their subscribers. They're not getting the notifications and all of that and everything. But I figured I'd just talk with y'all while I'm driving, carefully driving and everything. So hopefully the audio's good. You might see the little bumpity bump with the camera because I got this little makeshift. Well, it's not a makeshift. It's just not a real good holder and everything. But it doesn't do good hanging on the dash. So, but yeah, no, I just wanted to give a quick chit chat, just talk to everybody, encourage y'all to just stay focused. I've been hearing some great reports. I still need to do some more interviews. There's a guy named Coleman I need to get with. How he's doing out there in California. That man is doing awesome. I think he said he pulled in about, I think he said 8,000 in 1 month out there. So there's a lot of people that are doing great with the notary business and all of that. They're not, and they're not even trying to get 10,000, 20,000. They're just trying to get some consistent growth with their business. So I need to do interviews with them. But I just wanted to really just encourage everybody to stay focused. I know it can be discouraging when you see all of these so-called testimonials. Then you hear all of this stuff in the Facebook groups and everything. And what I'm hearing from the people with the boots on the ground actually out there doing it, they're realizing the reality of how simple it is and how complicated some of this, that how complicated it's not. So it's not as complicated as people make it out to be. But it's very, very, straightforward. My son had his first refi, and he did great with it. I checked his work and everything, and I helped him prep the documents, got him all set up, and he knocked it out the ballpark. 218 pages. He did very, very well with it. But like I told him, and he's a young guy, he wants to get in here and really get going. And I told him, I said, it's going to take about 20 for you to really get a handle on it or feel comfortable because you have so many different variables for us, the different loan companies and all of that are out here in the different versions of these loan docs. So you can't just say, hey, I did great on this one, and then it's going to be great on every single one after that, because then you get one that might be 110 pages and can be way more complex and stuff. So, and feel free to share the video, y'all. So let people know we're on here. But, so he did great on his first one, and many others I've been listening to said they're doing great on theirs. So that's what I'm saying. Stay encouraged. But as one lady told me, she got some other side business stuff going on. She's doing courier. She's doing medical, doing deliveries for medical businesses until the notary stuff kicks in. Especially for a lot of the school teachers. A lot of the school teachers are actually not. Some school teachers aren't willing to go back to school because they ain't down with the medical stuff, the vaccine, or just being in that environment anymore. So they're doing this business full time. So they're trying to find a way to make it happen. But one other thing, and I think I mentioned it in one of my other lives, is that if you're seeing this video for the first time or just now trying to learn more about notary, I strongly encourage you to really do some research in your area. Reach out to the other notaries, especially if you're in a rural area, because a lot of people are hopping into the business. They live out there in a rural area and they're getting upset because they're like, I ain't getting the business. As I said before, if there's only 2,000 houses out there in the area and you got 700 notaries, well, it's not going to take long for you to be, done with the refis. And they're not doing any more developing, no more building. Hey, thanks everybody for joining. Feel free to hit that like button so YouTube can push it out to everybody. So if you're in a high dense area where there's a lot of people, or you don't mind traveling, then it's not going to be, you're going to have a lot of success, or you can have success with doing the loan closings, because you'll have, okay, what we got going on here? Maybe I do need to hop over here. You'll have a lot more opportunities to do refis. Like one of the things I'm seeing in my area is that neighborhoods that get built up, pretty much I'm starting to hit those neighborhoods 2 to 3 years after they've been finished. So some of the neighborhoods, once they get built, and then all of a sudden, they came in probably at 4 or 5% interest. They might have had to put a lot of money down because they didn't have things where they needed to be financially. So their interest rate was higher. And now those same neighborhoods, are like, hey, now they're refinancing. The one I did this morning, they just finished building that neighborhood 5 years ago, and the guy's refinancing, and he was taking out some money out of it, doing a cash out refi. So those are the opportunities that exist as you are living in a transient, dense area where they're constantly expanding. I mean, they're building so much around here, and that's why in some cases you have to be willing to travel to go out into the boonies, as they will say, to get those refinance deals, and focus more on the fact of how much money you can actually make each month, and find legitimate ways to cut your expenses, as far as not having, spending too much on paper and all of that. The gas, but you get the 56 cents amount, deduction. So to me, it sort of balances out. But other things you can do to make some money, like what you see me doing, the house inspection, is starting to pick up. And for those who signed up, y'all should start seeing an increase. Hopefully y'all should, at least in my area. I mean, last month, June, I pulled in over 1,600, which is the highest I've ever done. The month before was about 1,400, I believe. And then in, which was May, then in April, I did like 1,200, over 1,200. So in each month, and I'm sitting here like, okay, so that's good, so that adds to my dollar amount for what I want to do, so I'm still, pushing to do my $6,000 with the notary business. I haven't really even looked at my numbers. I think I did $5,000 last month. And see, here's the trade-off, because actually, since I've been doing so many more house inspections, there's been times where I haven't been able to do the actual loan closings and everything, you know. So in some cases I've had to miss out because I had house inspections, and it seems like I'm one of those ones they got around here because they've been pushing a lot to me. I mean, I got 3 interior inspections, and the interior inspections range between $60 and $75. So I got 3 of those on tap that I'm trying to get done. I'm still waiting to hear back from the people. And then I have the one that I'm getting ready to do today. I think that's maybe $75 or something like that. You know, so you have all of those. Which video? If you look at my playlist, there's a playlist I have called Groundworks playlist. In one of those, it should have the ladies' information or the information. Let me see if I can see y'all. Daggone, I can't see y'all chat stuff. I always miss it. But groundwork dash inspections plural.com. So when you go to groundwork, work is singular, groundwork dash inspections plural.com, you'll see a register button. You click on register, send them your information, and if they have spots available in your area, boom, you should be able to get in. And you just take the orders and stuff. Now, one of the other things I want to share with y'all, and this is why I have always carry my body cam. Every now and then you get somebody, you know, trying to roll up on you, and just got to charge it up. And not too long ago, I had a homeowner, which he didn't identify himself in the beginning, you know, sort of came up on me like, you know, what you doing out here? And I had, you know, I'm like, I said, well, I'm out here doing an inspection for so-and-so. And I told him, I said, for this person, for this bank, I'm doing a house inspection. Well, who are you? And I said, I'm Mr. Griffin, I'm the house inspector, I'm the inspector. Well, what you doing out here? I said, I already shared that with you. I told you what I'm doing out here. I'm doing this inspection. I said, well, who are you? Well, I'm so-and-so. And I'm like, well, if you're the so-and-so that I said I'm out here doing the inspection for, why didn't you say that? Well, you didn't ask me. Why do I need to ask you when I've already identified the fact that I'm out here doing an inspection for this person? Well, it seems like you should come and let me know. I said, I'm not required to let you know that I'm doing the inspection because I'm not supposed to come on your property. But you could have told me who you were, and I can't just go revealing personal information about somebody. I don't know if you're a tenant or the homeowner. Well, if you would have asked me, I would have told you. So we sort of went back and forth, you know, about whether I should have asked him who he was and all of that, even though I identified why I was out there, who I was out there for, and everything. And he knew he was the person that I was referencing, but he felt that he didn't need to share that with me. And I'm like, okay. And then he just had this little attitude. Then his moms came out there and everything and all of that. So, you know, and I told him, I said, I'm recording. So I said, you know, so he sort of backed down. Actually, mom stepped in, and I explained to her, I said, well, your son, I basically said, you know, your son acting like a jerk. You know, I told him who I was. I told him what I was out here for, and he wouldn't identify himself. So I don't know whether he owns the place or not and everything, you know. So we got it resolved. I got the pictures done and everything. But every now and then you could come across something like that. It's not fun, but, you know, that's why I wear the little body camera, and then I downloaded the video, saved it to my hard drive just in case something came up. And then in my closeout report, you know, I made note of that happened, you know, and everything. And if they decide to say something, you know, I have proof, you know, evidence to back me up and everything. But yeah, the house inspections are real simple. It's not the crawl under the thing type of house inspections and all that. And there's I'm learning there's a wide variety of different companies. Some companies I've just recently learned are trying to make you work for them as an employee, and all of that. So you have to be careful of that. And you really have to be careful of anybody trying to get you as a 1099 to operate as an employee, but they want to pay you as a 1099. That's illegal and everything. And y'all need to look up the 1099 rules so you can be aware. Because as a business owner, independent contractor, you need to be aware of those rules so that you don't end up paying taxes, or, that you shouldn't be paying and all of that and stuff. But anybody got any questions? Because I can't see the chat at the moment. All right, let me see here. Good afternoon. Seems like a bit slow after. For a slow, here's the thing. I think I mentioned this before. When you talk about it's slow, you got to remember, in order for there to be refinances in the month that we're currently in, there had to been people applying to refinance at least 2-3 months, maybe even 4 months prior. So very rarely are you going to see a same month refinance, where they they applied on the 10th, and then before the end of the month they're closing. It doesn't happen that fast. So that's one of the things you got to keep in mind. One of the things that I'm learning is that there's regulations. Each state has their own regulations as to what financial institutions can operate out of their state. So if you have a mortgage broker, which operates different than a lender, than a bank, there might be restrictions on whether or not that lender, that mortgage broker, can actually operate out of a state. And if they have the better deals and the actual banks don't have a good deal, that could be a problem. Prior to the pandemic, one of the issues that I kept running into was that the banks, some of the banks, and I'm not going to say their names, but some of the banks were actually taking way too long to do the refinance, and some of the people were backing away. So I'm sitting here with them, let's say in August, and they're telling me they really should have been closing in June. They was trying to close in June, but they couldn't because it's the policeman sitting outside. They said, they couldn't close in June because their bank was just taking too long. And they kept having all these extra requirements. So if you're seeing that things slow, it's just taking longer. The courthouses could be still backed up because of the coronavirus and limited staff. It's a wide variety of reasons why things are just being slower. Other thing that could be it, and I hate to say, and I've said it before, but I hate to really say it, is that maybe a company is not, maybe they've lost some contracts. Maybe some of these signing companies are no longer, they don't have the business that they did because they've had notaries that was doing business with them and weren't doing the closings right. I talked to a company the other day. They called me out of the blue, and I got to tell y'all about what happened with them too. And it wasn't even their fault; it was the signer. But they called me, and I was asking the guy, I said, hey, since y'all in the area, do y'all have a lot of work in this area? And he said, yeah. And I said, what about loan applications? He said, oh yeah, we have a lot of loan applications. He said, the problem is we can't find anybody to do them. I was like, interesting. He said, yeah, we can't find anybody to do these loan applications and stuff. So of course, I'm trying to, cape for my son, to get him going. And I said, well, I got somebody, my son, and all of that. He's more than willing to do it. He has a fluctuating schedule, but I said, if you look him up in the system, you'll see him, and feel free to reach out to him and everything and let him, and ask him. And when he's off, he'll be more than happy to take care of, I've already showed him how to do the stuff and all of that. So he was like, all right, cool, good. So they're having problems in certain areas. So if a signing company is unable to get quality notaries to come and do the work, then after a while they could lose business, because they're like, okay, we can't get anybody, or the people who we do get, they cutting the fool. They're just straight up acting up and just doing stuff, and it's costing us money. So you have that as an issue. Now, here's something that recently happened, and sometimes, and you just have to chalk it up, because sometimes people are crazy. The company was calling me in order to do a signing. Now, when I called the customer, they sent me the order, I called the customer. Here's something you need to know. If you ever talk to a signer and they start talking about HUD 1 and it's not a reverse mortgage, be on the alert, because what I've learned from experience, a lot of times it's an old school real estate person or somebody who was in the real estate industry somewhere along the line, and they're used to the HUD 1. They're not used to this closing disclosure. So every person that I've come across that referred to the closing disclosure as a HUD 1, or said they want to see a HUD 1, they've been a little difficult. The 3-hour signing that I had, that I mentioned a couple of weeks back, she was looking for a HUD 1. Matter of fact, she was fussing that she didn't see a HUD 1, and she was saying, I need to see a HUD 1 because I know how to read that. I don't know how to read a closing disclosure. So, and I was there for 3 hours with her. And then the lady that I was talking to, calling in to confirm with the other day, that's the first thing came out of her mouth. And she wasn't familiar with the mobile notary thing, because she's a mortgage broker and she has her own in-house, and she was like, I don't need you as my notary. I have a notary. I'm like, well, ma'am, I'm the one who they assigned. She said, well, I have a notary already here. Okay, I already have a notary with me because I'm here in my office. Or, and I'm like, okay, but she didn't tell me she was a mortgage broker at first. She just said, I already have a notary. So I'm sitting there like, okay, well, ma'am, let me explain to you what the process is. So I'm trying to explain to her, because I don't know she's a mortgage broker or anything, but I had a feeling something was going on because she said HUD 1. So next thing I know, she's just cuts me off and like, look, I know the process because I'm a mortgage broker. I said, well, ma'am, you didn't disclose that to me, so I had no idea. Not trying to insult your intelligence or anything. My apologies. And where is 17? Down here, 8. All right. So I said, ma'am, I'm not trying to insult your intelligence. I don't know what you have, or this, that, or the other. I said, I was just trying to explain because you appeared that you didn't understand the process of how we're doing stuff. So she just kept going off on me, and it was just getting more and more tense. And then the next thing I know, she's like, you're fired, and hung up on me. Yeah, I was heated then. I was like, wait a minute. And I didn't call her back. I didn't fuss at her. And through the whole process, I didn't go off on her or anything, But what I learned was, she was basically like, well, they're going to send me the documents. They're not, why are they sending them to you? They need to send me the documents, and then I will meet with my notary here and we'll do it. And I was like, well, ma'am, that's not how we do. She's like, well, that's how it goes, because that's what I do all the time. This is what I do every day. They send me the documents. And I was like, I understand, but in this case, it's different. And that's when she got mad and I guess called herself firing me and everything. So I contacted the company, told them what went down. They was like, okay, so the order got canceled, or I was just not allowed to do it. And I was sort of debating back and forth with myself whether or not I would do the signing. I was like, I don't know. So I'm glad it got canceled, to be honest, because I really didn't want to be around her. But it all worked out and everything. So I'm going to knock out this house inspection and everything. But I just wanted to chat with y'all. Hold on, let me take a quick peek. I think it's just more so the holiday weekend. Mr. Griffin, what type of signage would you recommend? All right, for the type of signage I recommend, and I shared this over and over again. Start off with loan applications, loan mods, and debt settlements to get your feet wet. Loan application, you get familiar with the documents. Keep in mind, the majority of the documents you see in a loan application, you're going to see in the closing. Okay, in most cases, every document that you see at the loan application phase, you're going to see the application. You're going to see the addendum to the application. You're going to see certain disclosures that are in there. You're going to see there's going to be a lot of documents that you're going to see in the loan application phase that you will see in the closing. It'll be a repeat, the tax documents, all of that. The whole point of me sharing with people to do the loan application is so you get comfortable and get used to doing the whole process of downloading the document, printing the document, calling the customer, confirming, and just getting set up to go. See, that process has to happen irregardless of whether it's a refi or not. You have to get the order, call the client, confirm with the client, update the order that you confirmed with the client. Then you have to wait for the documents, download the documents, print the documents, check the documents, go to the house, get the documents signed, drop them off for shipping, or scan them back, then drop them off. Closeout report, all of that. So you have to go through that whole process irregardless of whether you have a refi or not. That's a process that has to be done. That is the process. So going through that with the loan application where you have no notarizations relieves you of a lot of stress and a lot of pressure, and it gets you comfortable and used to being in a stranger's home and around people, their pets, all of that kind of stuff. Just to travel, the whole thing, coordinating your schedule, making sure that things are straight at home so you can go to the actual closing or the loan, the session for the loan application. With the debt settlement, with the loan modifications, typically you'll have less than 4 items to notarize. With a loan modification, maybe 2. With a debt settlement, maybe 3 or 4. Very, very easy, simple, laid back to do. So it's something that allows you to get used to the process rather than your first order being a 219. I had, be honest, had I not been there, my son probably would have had some struggles with that. He would have had some struggles with that. But not everybody has Griff to prep them before they go on a signing. So that's why I'm saying take those orders. I look back at my 2018 orders. I think for the month of November and December, I think I had maybe 5 signings that was $100. I think I did maybe 30 between the 2 months, something like that. So out of those 30, 5 of them was $100. Everything else was between $70 and $30. I was doing debt settlements, loan mods, loan applications. I was doing it all, just out there doing it. And those things just helped me cut my teeth and get me prepared for when the orders, for when the refinances came. I'm like, okay, I know what to do. I'm just printing more paper. And I know what to do throughout the whole process. So my first signing was an actual refi. It came up out of the blue and I was nervous. I guess I did it right. Nobody ever told me I didn't, but I was nervous as all get out. And I had nobody to tell me this information that I'm sharing with you. Nobody was saying, hey, take this one and that one and all that. I didn't even know what existed out there. Orders were just coming. And I was like, okay, I'm going to just take it. because it was a dollar amount attached to it. Anything that came in that had a dollar amount attached to it, I did it because I'm like, I'm trying to make money. I wasn't worried about whether it said a wet disc or a EDOC or if it said TBD. I just did the daggone things and just called it a day. You know, I really wasn't scrutinizing. I wasn't sitting up here calling people asking them, well, how many pages is in a standard refi package? I mean, that's what people are doing. Don't worry about that. Just go out there and do the order, because at the end of the day, whether it's 10 pages or 200 pages, you still got to do the notarizations correctly. I had a signing the other day. It was an $85 signing, 7 pages. I didn't realize it was going to be 7 pages. But when I got the stuff and I printed, I was like, oh, it's 7 pages. And I'm cool with that. You know, I'm like, all right, cool. And, you know, so you just go with it. That's all. You just go with it. Let me see if anybody else in here. I don't see if any other comments before I bounce out. Still in there with family over here in Arlington. Now look, SR Hal Van, look at the videos in my Notary Basic playlist. They will help you out. And you can always contact me if you got questions and all of that. So I think, appreciate your feedback. Yeah, so I mean, y'all should be at a point now where you can recognize people just talking out the side of their neck versus people giving y'all real game. And there's some people out there that they're just talking out the side of their neck. They're just making up stuff. They're just trying to impress you. I mean, let's be real. If nobody ever said how much they was making in the business, would you really care whether you got a $60 order or $80 order or $100 order? You'll just be like, okay, it's money. I know there's notaries right now that's been in the game way longer than me, and they're talking about how 10, 15 years ago, it was $300, $200 and all of that. And now they're complaining because it's more notaries and the fees have dropped. Okay, you adjust and you just got to keep going. Salaries have dropped, you know, in certain areas. Have people stop trying to get jobs? No, they go out there and make the best of what they can with what they can get. As I've always said, as long as I can make more than $0, the Heavenly Father can make some stuff happen. I can make some stuff happen. Together we can make some stuff happen. If I can get at least a penny, if you give me a penny, I can make something happen with a penny. I'll find a way to make something happen with a penny. That's my mentality. You can't grow anything without a seed. You got to have a seed. You can dig a hole all you want. You can plant the ground all, you can water the ground all you want. But if there's no seed in the ground of some sort, nothing won't grow up out of there. You got to have a seed. So get seed, and then you plant the seed that you have. And if you're unwilling to plant the seed that you have, you will never have a harvest. The harvest comes from you planting the seed that you can get. And let me put it to you this way. A lot of people probably average about, let's just say, making $95 a day, $80 to $90 a day. I know there's other people that are making more, and I've made more. But a lot of the new notaries are just, you know, they made $85 for the whole day. That's what they make for the whole day. And then somebody offers you $95 for a signing, and you're saying that's not good enough. See, if I owned a signing company, I would have to ask yourself, okay, if I offer you $95 and you're like, well, I want $125, my first question to you would be, how much you make a day at your regular job? Oh, I make about $95. So my $95 isn't good enough for you, but you working for 8 hours a day for $95 is, because whether you do this order or not for $95, guess what? You're going to take your little happy tail right back to that job for 8 hours and make $95. So every day you go there for $95, I offer you a job to do this signing for $95. takes way less than half the time that you would spend at your job, and my $95 isn't good enough. Morning there, Leslie. So my $95 from my signing company to pay you isn't good enough, but yet you get up every day and go into a job making less than $100 a day gross, and you know your net is going to be way below that, and you find a way to buy a house, put man and TT in daycare, go on trips, go to the club, turn it up, donate to the church, donate to this, spend money on that, have NFL Sunday ticket, have NBA league pass. You got all of this stuff and you only making $95 a day. And then I'm offering you orders at $95 and you saying my $95 order isn't good enough for you. That part doesn't make sense. I'm offering you $95 to where you can make several opportunity that you can make $95. Basically, I can give you 3 orders a day at $95, and that's not good enough for you. Meaning, I'm giving you, I can give you every day 3 days worth of work, and you're saying that ain't good enough for you. What in the world is wrong with your brain cells? As in the famous words of Denzel Washington from Remember the Titans, you must be outside of your mind. It don't make a lick of sense that somebody can pay you a day's salary 2 to 3 times a day, and you're saying that ain't good enough. You need a 150. You need 200 before you get off your couch, but you carrying your happy butt every day to your job, and you ain't making 150 a day or 200 a day. And for those of you who are, you know your net ain't 200, because after you do your net, it ain't $200. So my thing is simply this: make the money and stop being all sedity, stop being all bougie about this. Stop acting like you're somebody so special that you need to be compensated to some high level of degree just to sign and stamp papers. Stop trying to make this so extravagant and so exclusive and so regal, and just get out there and do the business and make the money that you need to make so you can take care of your family. I mean, I'm probably averaging around $300 a day doing the signings, which is just a little less than what I was making. I think I was pulling in 360 or 380, 360 for my daytime job. I can make 300 work. If I hit $300 a day, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. So if you making less than $300 a day, I was making over $300 a day. And if you can get the same amount that I'm making right now, 300, 185, 200, if you can make $95 a day work to do all the stuff that you do, to buy all the stuff that you buying, to travel wherever you going, getting you a new car every 2 years, don't tell me you can't make money in this business and live a good life. I don't want to hear that. And y'all need to stop listening to people that's like that. That's why I keep saying, every time somebody talk about what they making per signing, you need to ask them, what's your monthly goal? How much money you pulling in each month? When I'm making 150 a signing, is that 150 helping you towards your monthly goal? What's your monthly goal? That's what I want to know. And nobody won't say that. What is your monthly goal? Because if your monthly goal is $4,000, then how many 150 signings do you need to do to get to 4,000? And are you actually getting that? And I'm not talking about averaging 150. I'm talking about actually hitting 150. That's really what it boils down to, because your bills are not on a monthly, not on a per signing basis. They're on a monthly basis. Every month you got a certain amount of money you got to have to pay them bills. And the bill collector ain't saying, well, until you hit 150 a signing, Don't worry about paying us. They want their money. It's that simple. So I've been on here a minute now, I guess. Let's see. No more questions. All right, party people. I'm gonna knock this house inspection out. Might be a little bit of a difficult one because they got trees all over the place. So it's gonna be, might be a little hard for me to do my measurements like I want, but it's 1 story, so it's pretty flat. So I might be able to get it knocked out in an hour. But y'all have a good one. And as always, if y'all need help with anything, give me a holler, and I'll get back with you. And if I can, I may be able to do a video showing some of the measurement things that I do out here and all of that. So if I can, I'll do that while I'm out here. All right, talk to y'all later. Peace.